Chapter 1. The Mysterious Shadows in the Heart of Africa. A young woman named Lara found herself on an extraordinary expedition. With her camera in hand and a heart full of curiosity, she ventured into the depths of the untamed wilderness, seeking to capture the hidden wonders of the continent. Little did she know, her journey would take a spine-chilling turn. As the sun began its descent, casting an amber glow upon the savannah, Lara found herself deep within a dense thicket. The air was thick with ancient secrets, and the calls of unseen creatures echoed through the trees. Every step she took sent a shiver down her spine, but her determination pushed her forward. Suddenly, as if the spirits of the wilderness sensed her fear, an eerie silence fell upon the land. Lara felt a tingle on the back of her neck and spun around, searching for the source of the disturbance. In that moment, her heart skipped a beat. Amongst the rustling leaves, she saw them, the shadows. Ghostly figures flickered amidst the trees, their forms twisting and writhing in an otherworldly dance. Fear paralyzed her for a moment, but her curiosity outweighed her terror. Who's there?" Lara called out, her voice barely a whisper. She could feel her pulse quickening, the adrenaline surging through her veins. A voice, soft and ethereal, carried on the wind. "We are the spirits that roam these lands. Approach with caution, young one." Lara's heart swelled with both relief and apprehension. She knew she had been granted a rare opportunity, but she also understood the weight of what lay ahead. With a nod of gratitude, she turned to leave, her camera clutched tightly in her hand. As she made her way back through the thicket, the creatures vanished into the shadows, retreating to the depths of their realm. Lara knew she had stared into the abyss and emerged with a newfound purpose. The stories she had uncovered were not just tales. They were reflections of humanity's collective imagination, steeped in the essence of African folklore. And so, Lara set out on her journey once more, her photograph standing as a testament to the captivating creatures and legends that roamed the African landscape. With each image she captured, she breathed life into the stories, their power echoing through the generations. Lara had become a vessel, a conduit between worlds, forever bound to the creatures she had encountered. As long as their stories were shared, their existence would persist, immortalized in the tapestry of human imagination. The end. From the shadows, figures emerged, their forms morphing into the fearsome creatures Mabudi had spoken of. The Mngwa prowled with stealth, its eyes glowing like molten lava. The Mamiwata emerged from the depths of a nearby river, their serpentine tails shimmering with iridescent scales. And in the distance, the haunting laughter of the were-hyenas sent shivers down Lara's spine. The Mngwa stepped forward, its voice a sinister growl. "You have awakened us, unleashed the power of forgotten lore. Now, you shall become a part of our story, forever trapped within the realm of the supernatural." Lara's heart pounded in her chest, but her determination remained unyielding. "I sought to share your stories, to give life to the legends that are slipping away. I never meant any harm." The Mamiwata slithered closer, her voice laced with seduction. "But knowledge can be a curse, little human. Once awakened, these tales take on a life of their own. They yearn for more than words on a page. They crave presence, they crave power." Lara locked eyes with the creatures before her voice filled with both trepidation and defiance. "I won't become a victim of my own curiosity. I refuse to be a pawn in your twisted game. I demand safe passage and the ability to share these stories with the world." There was a moment of silence as the creatures contemplated her words. The were-hyenas chuckled amongst themselves before one of them stepped forward, their voice dripping with cunning. "Very well, human. We shall grant you safe passage, but be warned your journey will have consequences. The boundaries between our world and yours will forever be entwined." As she ventured deeper into the wilderness to capture the essence of these creatures through her lens, the boundaries between myth and reality blurred. Lara had become a seeker of truth, shedding light on the shadows that haunted the forgotten corners of the world. Little did she know that amidst her quest, the terrifying legends she uncovered began to stir, aware of the threat her discovery posed. The creatures of African mythology grew restless, their existence no longer hidden in the shadows. They hungered for something Lara possessed, something that lay dormant within her very soul. TBC Chapter 3. The final confrontation. Lara's journey into the heart of African mythology had turned into a dance of danger and discovery. As she delved deeper into the stories, the creatures she once thought were mere legends began to encroach upon her world, blurring the line between fantasy and reality. One moonlit night, as Lara sat by the dying embers of her campfire, a voice carried through the silence. "Lara," it whispered, low and menacing. "You have trespassed upon our domain for far too long. It is time for you to pay the price." Lara's heart raced as the voice echoed through the trees, dripping with malevolence. She knew the time had come for her to face the creatures she had spent so long studying. Gathering her courage, she stood up and called out into the darkness, her voice steady but laced with apprehension. "Show yourselves. Let me see the legends come to life." Lara settled by the crackling fire, her camera placed beside her, ready to capture every word. Mabudi's voice grew soft yet commanding, filling the air with enchantment. "The first tale I shall speak of is the legend of the Mngwa," Mabudi began, his voice resonating with ancient wisdom. "It is said to be a large, ferocious cat-like creature, black as the night itself. With eyes ablaze, it prowls the dark corners of the savannah, preying on any who dare cross its path. Many have fallen victim to its deadly fangs." Lara's pen scribbled furiously in her notebook, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "I must capture this story, Mabudi. The world needs to know of these incredible creatures." Mabudi nodded, his expression somber. "Indeed, my child. The stories must be told, but remember, with each tale, darkness lurks closely behind. These creatures are not to be trifled with. Always tread carefully, for ignorance can be a dangerous companion. As Mabudi spoke, a flicker of fear danced across Lara's face, but her determination remained unyielding. Thank you, Mabudi. I will tread with caution and respect. These creatures deserve to have their stories told. Days turned into weeks, and through Mabudi's guidance, Lara uncovered more stories. From the seductive African mermaids known as Mamiwata to the mysterious shape-shifting were hyenas, each tale added a new layer to the rich tapestry of African mythology. Days turned into weeks, and Lara's encounter with the mysterious shadows lingered in her mind. The images she captured fascinated her, whispering stories of forgotten legends and terrifying creatures. Determined to learn more, she embarked on a quest to find those who held the ancient tales locked within their memories. In a small, remote village nestled deep within the heart of Africa, Lara found an elder named Mabudi, renowned for his knowledge of the supernatural. With her camera and notepad in hand, she waited outside his humble hut, hoping he would agree to speak with her. Finally, the door creaked open, and an old man with wise eyes and a long white beard emerged. "What brings you to my doorstep, young lady?" he asked, his voice carrying a hint of amusement. "Greetings, Mabudi," Lara replied, her excitement bubbling over. "I seek your wisdom and the stories of the creatures that roam this land. I have seen the shadows they cast, but I desire to know more." Mabudi stared at her for a moment, as if assessing her intentions. "The path you tread is fraught with danger, my child. The tales I hold are not for the faint of heart." Lara nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "I understand. I am ready to face the darkness if it means shedding light on these ancient secrets." Mabudi smiled, a twinkle in his eyes. "Very well, child. Sit with me, and I shall share the stories that have been passed down through generations." Lara's pulse raced, but she couldn't resist the allure of the unknown. She stepped forward, her camera trembling in her hands. "What are you? What do you want?" The shadows swirled in response, their forms growing darker and more sinister. "We are creatures born of ancient legends, cursed to wander this realm. We seek redemption, freedom from this eternal twilight." Lara's eyes widened with wonder. These haunting beings embodied the essence of African folklore, and in that moment, she knew she had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. With trepidation, she raised her camera and began snapping photos, capturing glimpses of their spectral forms. As the last rays of sunlight faded from the sky, the shadows retreated, their presence fading away like a wisp of smoke. Lara stood in awe, realizing the immensity of what she had witnessed. As she made her way back to her camp, her mind swirled with possibilities. She had the chance to uncover ancient tales, reveal the hidden truths of the African wilderness. With each step, her excitement grew, a determination sparking within her. Little did she know that her encounter with the shadows was only the beginning. The creatures of African mythology had awakened, and they would stop at nothing to ensure their stories remained a secret. TBC Chapter 2. The Tales Unleashed.